99.3 Nigeria Info. Good morning to you, Lagos, Nigeria. Wherever you are listening in right now, we appreciate you for being there. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube as we speak. So you can watch live the very last hour of the Morning Crossfire from those platforms as facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM, youtube.com/Nigeria Info FM. Join us. Let's have a COVID conversation. And COVID conversations are always frank conversations, all right? I'm Sheriff Quadry. Welcome. You can also track every conversation we have here on Nigeria Info via our Twitter page at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter. The WhatsApp number is also very up and active. This morning, feel free to join the conversation via WhatsApp as well. Whatever it is, whatever question that you've got concerning COVID, we'll try as much as possible to attempt those questions this morning on the show. We can't stop educating ourselves. We can't stop enlightening ourselves, especially when it comes to COVID. And that is why we are talking COVID today. Tomorrow, we'll be talking COVID again. But then in another angle, we'll be looking at how COVID affects infertility or fertility. That's our conversation for tomorrow. So let's delve into it. This morning, we're looking at the challenges of misinformation when it comes to COVID. I have joining me on Skype right now. I mean, that's why I say you can watch on Facebook and on YouTube. Opeyemi Orinawo, he's a coordinator, Med Assist program. Well, they work with Murtala Mohammed Foundation. Opeyemi, very lovely morning to you. Thank you for joining us this morning on Morning Crossfire.
Good morning, Sheriff. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you. Now let's start this way, talking about the fight and struggle for COVID enlightenment. What would you say is the greatest obstacle? For some reason, we're getting some kind of noise from your end. It's quite, I don't know, perhaps you may want to... Okay, I think it's better now. Oh, the noise is still there. We're still getting the noise. We'll try and see if we can resolve that. Perhaps you can remove the headphone, and talk to me directly from the device. Have you done? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I see you've removed the earpiece. Perhaps it would work out now. But I can't hear you, Opeyemi. I can't hear you. Huh? I can't hear you. Let's see if we can fix that, all right? And we'll be back in a moment. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you now, Sheriff.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes, I can hear you, Sheriff.
Fantastic. So let's begin. I was asking earlier, like, in this struggle to enlighten people about COVID, in this everyday enlightenment efforts that you, me, and every other person, what we're doing to make sure that we educate people concerning COVID, what would you say is the biggest obstacle that is still militating against people believing that COVID is real or COVID is dangerous?
Okay, so when it comes to information spreading, I think that one thing we have to identify is that we're dealing with a very heterogeneous society, being that it is fractured. People are, at the initial state of when COVID started, and the initial approach that the government originally took was to set up a centralized information command system,
right,
headed by the presidential task force, secretary to state government. I mean, that approach definitely wasn't the best approach, because there are people who the very most of who they listen to outside of their immediate families, perhaps their kings or their spiritual leaders, and some of it's not even everybody that speaks English. English right now is a second language for us. That's the reality, So the approach to information at the onset right now really did a lot of damage in terms of setting us back, in terms of ensuring that information got to people at the required time. Also, the evolutionary peculiarity of COVID-19 itself, even the science was struggling with, to even understand, to come to terms with what exactly COVID represented, how it could be cured, what are the precautionary measures. We went through that entire curve while still dealing with the pandemic. So there was not that time for science to already figure itself out, and for us to now find a coordinated information dissemination system. So that created a vacuum, a nature above vacuum. So you allow people who predominantly are perhaps illiterate, if you look at Nigeria's numbers, fill that vacuum with a whole lot of assumptions around what it could be. So
Right.
you have people right now
Right.
who maybe are imams, and everybody just making up explanations to what this could be. And when things have been spinned around that, it's very hard to come back from misinformation to now begin to tell people, oh, this is exactly what to do, XYZ, when their minds have already made up.
Right.
Especially
Right.
when the explanation leveraged deeply rooted biases already. So those are some of the challenges in which COVID-19 has presented. Really.
I'm going to go into a research that I came across some days ago about why people don't believe that there is COVID. The research used the method called hypodermic needle theory. It's called stimulus response theory, and they interviewed some people as to what is making them not believe that there is COVID. So the outcome gave three broad reasons. The first one is the general misinformation belief. Second, conspiracy belief. And third, religious misinformation belief. So we have these three major, huge source of these beliefs that people hold on to when it comes to COVID. We're going to take this one after the other. For the general misinformation belief, can this ever be curbed? Because under this, they fingered the social media as being largely responsible for general misinformation belief. And the social media is still very much there. This information are still there, although some platforms try to, remove this information as soon as they hit the social media platform. But then they are still with the people. People have spread this misinformation on Facebook, on YouTube, on WhatsApp. So the general misinformation is huge. I want to ask you, Opeyemi, can we? Is this something that we can come back from?
Absolutely. I believe that. I mean, there is definitely work to be done. I would not. I would posit on the side of there is a lot of work to be done. We can definitely come back to it. But just in the same approach in which this misinformation was spread, we also have to address that issue from that holistic aspect of things. So the first question would be that how are we talking to the what are manners in which are we to talk to the people? Language are we speaking to the people? Who are the people in which we are standing with as a source of authority? I mean, if religious leaders have been involved, have been recruited for misinformation, how can we recruit them for accurate information? How do we ensure right now that we're able to provide that information readily available to the people as much as they need it? So these are part of the things that we also are trying to do with the Muitalamid Assist program, where people can talk to professionals right now in Igbo, Yoruba, English, and Pidgin
Fantastic.
English. We have to be able to break that in that. We have to be able to break that information down to the people to let them know, okay, this is exactly what is required for you to do. And also, how do we ensure that this information is also readily available to them? Not everybody is on social media.
Right.
There are a lot of people right now who, at the end of the day, like I mentioned, it is probably their immediate nucleus. Even some of us right now are a bit well off. Just try and have that conversation with your security man, or have that conversation perhaps with your driver or your megad, or those people right now who are not as well off as you are, and you'll be shocked at the level. So we all individually have to take responsibility for that info, ensuring that people have adequate information. So I believe we can come back for it.
Right.
We just have to ensure that, okay, and also what kind of partnerships are we having?
Yeah.
I mean, there were COVID response teams. It'll be interesting. I mean, media is a major stakeholder in this advocacy. The radio still remains the platform that has the largest reach, the largest penetration in Nigeria.
Very true.
What kind of relationship are we looking to build to ensure that this information is made available to the people at the very lowest level? And let me say that, people talk about social media and say, oh, social media is social media is a decentralized information platform, which means you and I are publishers. So everybody goes there to express their fears, to say, okay, and it's expected. It's not as if it's some set of people who are commanding that space. We are all in that space saying what we like. So how do we ensure right now that we're better informed, how do we go back there right now to do our own bit? If we all take that responsibility individually, if you don't have a particular information, how do you partner with somebody who does? How do we ensure this collective response? Because everybody's at risk right now.
Indeed. Opeyemi, let me put this question to you again before we move on. We've talked about the general misinformation belief, but let's merge, because of time, let's merge the other two together, and that is the conspiracy belief and the religious misinformation belief. Remember, Opeyemi, when COVID first came, there was a religious misinformation belief that spanned everywhere. We had people, religious leaders, come out to come and say things about COVID. we had religious leaders who came to the public and they said things about, things you would rather attribute to conspiracy beliefs. So you have these two things going out to the public at the same time. And these were leaders who had huge followership. That, to some experts, has done a great harm to right access to correct information when it comes to COVID. Now, how do we begin to correct this? Even as we speak today, Opayemi, now, these same people are still holding on to their previous beliefs, their previous religious beliefs, and their previous conspiracy beliefs. I mean, is this not too much to handle, knowing full well that we are a highly religious society?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think we're dealing with a very deadly cocktail, like you've highlighted. If you're dealing with conspiracy, dealing with misinformation, all that mixed into it becomes a very potent misinformation cocktail that is hard to come back from. But I always liken this to this, is that when our politicians want to get elected, and even electing them rides on misinformation, but they now recruit all of them down from the National Mosque Abuja down to the Imam heading that mosque in Amatu, same applies also to the Christian for understanding of the religious keepers, as the case may be, and the important recruitment them for the agenda. It's to understand that the leadership you have mentioned, how do them to take? It's never been a time right for reaching out to all the stakeholders. So this is what we also at this program. I mean, our platforms. How we still take away Young Prison Association in Nigeria. Just to try to come and inform them to know that this is how about this. If help is available in whatever language that we cannot continue to operate in our silos, and expect that we remain within our bubble and expect things to change. There has to be concise, intentional, and deliberate effort right now to recruit people. It's a recruitment process. So and if we want to fight COVID, we must be very intentional about these cross-cutting collaborations across board to drive to stem the tide of COVID-19 in Nigeria.
Fantastic. Okay, let's go to the phone lines and take a few thoughts before I drop my last question with you this morning. Because, listen, we need to hear back from the people what their disbeliefs, are. Their religious misinformation, or let's say their religious beliefs concerning COVID, their conspiracy beliefs that they've been holding on to for some time now, and the general misinformation beliefs that they have. If you like to share what your concerns are, what you've heard about COVID with us this morning, please feel free. This platform is for you. Let's know exactly why you can't believe that there is COVID. Let's not politicize it. I wasn't gonna say that, but I need to now say it out. Let's not calling and start politicizing the issue of COVID. Let's talk strictly based on why you don't believe that COVID is real. 0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993 is a telephone line that we are working with this morning on the show. Please, when you're calling, turn off your radio. A lady will pick your call. Take your time. She would ask, some basic information and just speak to her. And then she patches you straight to the studio, and we can then talk to you. If you like to use Facebook, we're live on Facebook as we speak. Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. Let me know your question, your disbelief about COVID. And then Opayemi will try and attempt whether to break things down for you. The Facebook page is Nigeria Info FM on Facebook. Same goes for YouTube page as well. We're streaming live there. Now let's speak with our first caller this morning. Hello, good morning to you. I think we lost that call. Let's jump on another one. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Nathaniel. I'm calling from Lekki.
Welcome.
Yes. Actually, talking about COVID, I think, to me, I believe COVID is real. Because it has come to years before, I used to have this feeling that we don't think that it is real. But having seen the figures and the number of deaths being recorded, I believe it is real. But the problem I'm having is that the way the number of cases being recorded as it is being said is what I have problem with. I don't believe it. I don't believe.
Why don't you believe in the numbers? What is causing the disbelief in the numbers?
The reason why I don't believe in the numbers is ever since this virus is said to be killing people, I've not seen it within my local government, even a single case with my own eyes. Before you prove to people that what you are saying is real, you need to show them evidence. Clear fact that look at this person, look at
You know,
this
but
person.
that's the thing. There are videos, there are pictures, there are VIPs. Even let's say that you can't know everybody, but there are people that you know. You must know. Have you heard of Dan Foster before?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Do you know what caused his demise? God rest his soul.
They told us that yes, of course, he died from COVID. But
Have you?
how true, how factual is that?
What else do you need to believe that?
How do you make the public to believe that yes, actually there are not some people that.
What do you need? What do you need to believe that Dan Foster died as a result of COVID complications? What do you need to believe that?
Now the thing is that most of the people that have been mentioned are high-profile people. You never seen any of the ordinary man died of this.
I have.
Could it be that the virus only selects those who are?
No. The virus is not selective, and ordinary people have died as a result of COVID complications as well.
So they really need to go further, prove to the people that look at this.
So they should show the people. I don't understand exactly what you're saying. How do they?
Maybe I should suggest that I personally know at least 5 people who I know on name basis who are close to me who have COVID. And I saw a statement by one of the workers of Lagos State. I think it's an essay to the governor saying that maybe the recommendation for someone like my brother on the line too is perhaps maybe go to the Lagos State morgue and see the number of people who have been pushed in there for COVID, who are for COVID-related deaths. So maybe by the time you see the numbers, the celebrity that Sheriff was speaking about, they are the people we can see who are popular.
Exactly.
But trust me, for every one celebrity right now who we've lost to COVID-19, there is at least 10 of those numbers of people we do not know who have died as a result. So you don't want to be the example. You don't want to wait until it happens to you before you take the necessary precaution. At this level right now, we're at community spread, which is no longer an elitist. It is down. If you look at the local government that Lagos State government identified, you have Mushin there, you have Amu or Dauphin there, you have local governments right now that have nothing to do with elites. Etiosa, exactly. So trust me, I would advise that at this point right now we are beyond doubting. If you'd, and I'll ask maybe if you go on the NCDC website, go on the NCDC Twitter page, go on our page, go on MedAssist social media page, you see the numbers on a daily basis, you see the reports of real life people. There are videos of people someone did a video last week and today the person is dead. Yeah. Being hospitalized. So it's at this point, except if one is just willfully intentionally trying to you see,
you see how deep this disbelief goes. I mean, that's why we're having this conversation. I mean, we can't stop talking about the depth of disbelief. I mean, I cited an example of somebody that he even knew, and still he wouldn't budge. He believes that there is COVID, but he felt that there. How can we reduce? Listen, the magnitude of people who don't believe COVID is real, let's not even begin to talk about that one. And that is a danger to us recovering from COVID. If we have people that don't believe in COVID, that means that they will not be interested in protecting themselves, which means that we are all exposed.
Absolutely.
How do we begin to correct this?
Absolutely.
How?
It's a Herculean task, without a doubt. It is an Herculean task. But just as much as you've said, and that's why I'm going to be, and I believe that Sheriff, you personally as a media person, and Nigeria Info as a station has so much power in your hands.
Yes.
To ensure that we drive this. I mean, if you have a caller who just called in and expressed that much level of misinformation or just deliberately intentional about after the fact, you are still so hell-bent on your views. There's something called behavioral change. It means that it is not the first time that just this one moment when someone hears an information that it sticks. So if we have to tell them in different forms, repeatedly, perhaps maybe we'll convert it to Yoruba, Igbo, all the possible languages, and maybe we don't need to approach it from the angle of fear. Maybe we need to show those dead bodies in their face now. Maybe that's what is required. I mean, I'm just saying that aloud because what we are fighting now is not even for people. We're fighting for our own lives as well.
Exactly.
Exactly. So it's so important right now for us to look at what this media relationship, this media, for us to identify and map that, okay, now you have XYZ number of, how do we ensure that this information gets to the bottom of the pyramid? And I would even guess that the gentleman who just called right now is an educated man. I mean, he speaks very well.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to our people who who don't have primary five? So that's a serious situation we have on our hands.
It's troubling, I must say. It's troubling. We need to let's squeeze in one more call. We have a break coming up. I'll have to hold on to you longer, Okwayemi, if you don't mind. We'll go on a quick break and then we'll come back. I have this last question, maybe not last. I have loads of them. But I would let's speak with Matthew and then hear Matthew out before we go on that break. Matthew, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
This is Matthew from Badagry.
Welcome.
Okay. Why many people does not believe in the COVID is because people do not believe in government. That's one of the reasons. And again, so when people say that there's COVID, okay, they stop church, the mosque, and in the market, the population of people in the market is even more than the churches or mosques. And when you just go around every market in Lagos State, majority 98 or 9.9%.
I know. I've been there. I've been to the markets. You're right.
Oh, okay. I will tell you the people that there's a COVID and they allow market people fall into the market, but in the issue of the religion, now there should be 50%. Why cannot apply the same measure in the market? Okay, let it be 50% to the market. 50% come today. Then 50% will come. But you allow that, like the other day, on second at the beach in Badagry. You want to meet?
Yeah, that's another one. That's an.
There's nothing like this. Maybe people putting on face masks.
Right.
Or that, and
right.
You don't to believe that.
I mean, you are spot on. Thank you, Matthew, for calling. I appreciate it. I mean, Matthew raised some valid questions. If you go to the market today, you barely see someone that is using the mask. If you go to the religious centers, the worship centers, they don't observe the 50% anymore. Most of them don't observe the 50% anymore. And then the other day, when we're crossing to the new year, a video surfaced online showing how thousands of people at the beach. And that's just one beach alone. It's almost like we're taking one step forward and a million steps backwards. Let's go to break, Okwayemi. Let's go to break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay here on Nigeria Info 99.3. Okwayemi Rino is here with me, and we'll continue our conversation after now.
For bookings and more, visit our website today on www.flyairpeace.com.
Are you a young Nigerian resident in Lagos between ages 18 and 35 with innovative and sustainable solutions to COVID-19? Is your business targeting a sustainable development goal, and does it have significant economic impact, particularly in the circular economy, agribusiness, health, education, and creative sectors? Application is now open for the Orange Corners Nigeria Business Incubation Program, funded by the Netherlands Enterprise Agency and implemented by Fate Foundation. The program supports 20 entrepreneurs with enterprise training, advisory and business incubation services, mentoring and funding in a 6-month incubation program to develop innovative ideas into viable business models. To apply, visit www.orangecorners.com/Nigeria.
Make up for lost travel time and let Emirates reconnect you with the world. If you've got big plans for 2021, it's time to put them into action. Take advantage of our special fares, starting from 313,585 naira. Every flight includes multi-risk travel insurance, COVID-19 cover, and the flexibility to change your booking. Visit Emirates.com, book by the 25th of January, and travel with peace of mind. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
And we're still here. We're back right now from our short break. Thank you for staying with us. We have calls all over our how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So the lines are blinking. We'll hear people's reasons, what is fueling their religious misinformation beliefs, what is fueling their conspiracy beliefs, what is fueling their general misinformation beliefs. We'll hear all of those ones in a moment. But I have joining me, if you're just tuning in, Opeyemi Orinawo. He joins, he's the coordinator of MedAssist on the show today. MedAssist is a platform where they assist people with information that you need, especially in these times of COVID. They are there free of charge for you to be able to get any kind of information that you need. Opeyemi, thank you again for joining us on the show today.
Thank you.
Now, quickly, let me tell you that you can share your thought with me about whatever disbelief that you have, whatever misinformation that you think on why you don't believe that there is COVID. Please share it with me on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3, on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. We're streaming on those two platforms as we speak. Let me know exactly why you don't believe COVID is real. And also, I would like to hear your thought from WhatsApp. WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805. That is 0809 597 5805 on WhatsApp. And feel free to share your thought with me on Twitter as well, at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter with the hashtag Nigeria Info MCF. Okay, let me ask a question that I'm sure that a lot of people would want to drop when I open the phone line, and that is about whether the government has helped in putting out the flame of disbelief, in putting out the flame of misinformation. With what you have seen, what you have heard, what you've witnessed, how would you say the government has performed in addressing the disbeliefs, the misinformation that is out there?
Okay, so I would say that, and I think that was one of the things that Matthew, the last caller, also mentioned. And I think the greatest challenge that we've seen is perhaps because of the existing distrust with government generally, even before COVID came. So spin COVID into that, people still do not believe. I mean, they're so suspicious of what the government says. I mean, if you listen to, once the conversation begins to trickle down to the bottom of the pyramid, you begin to hear things like, oh, COVID has become another thing to siphon money. We've decided to put our politics into this pandemic for people to see it. So it's hard for them to reconcile the seriousness of the issue when the people who are supposed to be the mouthpiece of this conversation, who are supposed to be the thought leaders in this right now, do not have the kind of social capital required for us to listen to them. So there is that on huge on one side. Then if you just look at also the approach the government has taken, the government has been reactionary at best. Maybe I'll give a little credit to say that, yes, maybe the science, the government themselves did not understand. I mean, look at countries like the UK. Yeah. I mean, Boris Johnson at different points was even saying, I went to the hospital. The government across the world struggled with the reality, with the seriousness of the issue. So that initial misconception and wrong approach to it has seriously damaged. Now we've had people now come back. I mean, we have presidents who have gone on record to say false things, around the virus. Right. Now coming back from that is difficult when people. So it further fuels this level of mistrust about the issue. So that's a huge problem. Right now, I believe that the information is a bit decentralized. Each state government now is handling their commands, their information command system. Right. But now we need to also break that down. How do we map? Even the government at state level, I'll always revert back to structures that we use when it comes to politics, when it comes to getting elected. We use structures, we use influencers, we use those community leaders, those gatekeepers, those people. We know that market woman or that market leader that when she talks, everybody follows, in a market. Right. How do we ensure right now that we're able to recruit her and keep her informed? So it's still the need right now for a coordinated approach. We need to do a concise mapping to ensure that, this is the person even if you don't listen to the government, you listen to your woman leader in your market. How do we get that woman leader on board? How do we get that imam who has a cluster of people who come to drink Meshai in his area? Everything he says there is law. People listen to him more than they listen to their governor. How do we ensure that we're able to recruit these gatekeepers, these influencers? So it's important right now for that concise approach to things. Now, the unfortunate part of it also is that we're dealing with a pandemic that also does not support gathering.
Right.
The normal way in which we've been passing information across or bringing together right now has been significantly affected because we're trying to communicate at the same time. We're not trying to come together to do it.
Right.
So how do we do that? So there's also the need right now to leverage what technology offers. The truth of the matter right now is that Nigeria still has about 172 million cell phones. Phone penetration is significant. How do we ensure right now we're able to pass that information across? And I want to use this opportunity also to now talk about why we started out. We started out the response to NCDC's claim, carry-on call for private and social private organizations and social organizations right now to support the drive. That's what started out Med Assist as an online telemedicine platform where even if you're in Damaturu, if you call our line,
you can get information.
Talk to a doctor who can provide all the information that you need, as well as even refer you to the nearest primary health care center. If you need to go to a pharmacy, if you need to be referred to NCDC, or even now take your concerns. I'm having a headache. I think my throat is paining me. I think what exactly? We're able to tell you all of those information. So there's a need for us for innovation. The importance of innovation at this time has never been as high as it is.
Right.
So, and I want to use the opportunity to also let everybody listening right now that you can access free information. Talk to a medical doctor in the language that you understand by reaching us on our line 08180640000.
And they don't have to pay any. They don't have to pay any amount. It's free of charge.
You don't have to. It's free of charge. You don't have to pay. You talk to a medical doctor in Igbo, Yoruba, English, and Pidgin. We at least those 4 languages we offer them. Just to provide, whatever. It might not even be COVID. So this is part of the misinformation going on. It might not even be COVID that is wrong with you.
Yes.
So we're able to provide that clarity. There's also a mental health component, quite frankly. COVID right now has brought its own significant mental health toll across the country.
Very true.
Gender-based violence has gone up significantly.
Very true. Very true.
We have a whole lot of people who are anxious, depression, all kinds of issues that people are facing. So all of this right. And let's not even go to the economic side of things, of how people's income has drastically, been shut down. So I will still rest my position on the need right now for collaborations. We need to come together. We need to see how well we can innovate and ensure that people are informed about what they need to do. At this point, I'm not even going to rest on government. It's beyond them. They themselves don't even. They too are at risk. We're all at risk in this.
You can say that again. Let's squeeze in a few more calls before we conclude on this conversation this morning. 0700 993 993 993. That is our studio line. I'm going to start this one round while we process our first call. Let's go to social media and take some thoughts that have coming today. I'm going to start with Facebook. We have some comments here. This person says, are you telling me that those governors that contract COVID-19 are not taking precautions? He said we are deceiving ourselves. I don't understand whether he's talking about us or some other person. But let's speak with Friday. Hi, Friday. Good morning to you.
Hello. Good morning, Sheriff.
Morning to you.
Yeah. See, Sheriff, we have to say how will people believe. See, me personally, I always believe there is COVID-19 because I always listen to this your station. But how many Nigerians do listen to this station? Anytime you are on there in the morning, you always hear how people complain. One program or the other that the government is holding. This year, last year alone, toward the ending of last year, we had 2 elections in 2 states, in 2 major states in this country. And this is the reason why many people do not believe.
Thank you, Friday, for calling. Appreciate it. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
My name is Aja.
Can you speak up? We can barely hear you.
My name is Aja, A-J-A-H, Aja.
Aja, welcome.
Yes. Mr. Quadry, this is the first time for me to be on your show. On air.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you.
I've been a very hardened listener of your program. You see what you are discussing this morning. I know it's offensive to say this. the Nigerian government are the most, the most, or should I say, they are the cause of the problem. They are the cause of the problem. Okay, now the COVID is even increasing, as we are hearing from your show and other shows on Minnesota, on other radios. And the government have never seen deal to stop the legislation, which has been clustered everywhere, every local government all over the world.
That's the NIN registration.
Yes, sir. And now the people are blaming the churches, the market people. What of those people who say, let us keep distances and maintain the hygiene that's involved in this? And people are coming on radio to say it is the man, the pastor that we are supposed to take the information to. The government who know the importance of what they are fighting for.
Are you saying that the religious leaders don't have a role to play? Is that what you're saying?
They have a role to play, actually, and I disagree with you.
Okay.
They will educate us more. Because when they talk to us, we believe it is God that speaks to us.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling me. Appreciate it. Let's jump on another call. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Morning
good morning.
To you. Yes,
my name is Awas Momo, calling from Surulere.
Welcome.
Yes. My contribution is that, we are hearing about this death of COVID. Is it only COVID that kills now? I would like us to get the statistics. Before COVID-19 came into being, people have been dying for other sickness, cancer, the rest.
Okay.
So this is why I want to let them make analysis. Like last year, okay, these are the people that die of social sickness. This year, there's people. So if they are saying that is why some people are not believing that there's COVID-19. But me personally, I believe there's COVID-19.
All right.
But I want them to be making it clear for people so that
we'll try and make that clear in a moment. But let's please speak with Hakeem. Then we'll make that clear. Hakeem, good morning to you.
Okay, good morning.
Morning to you.
Good morning. I just want to say something which is contrary to what they are discussing. What is the role of the local government in the government?
Hakeem, can you speak out? We can't hear you. You're too low.
I said, what is the role of the local government in the setup? The local government is just there for nothing. I think the local government is the nearest government to the people.
You are right.
Which is there in what is disseminating information to the grassroots. They don't even.
We lost Hakim's call. Hakim, do try and call us back. Let me come to you right now, Poyemi. I'm going to take it from what the second to last caller said about every death being called COVID-19, and that I must say I've heard that before. Like it's like everybody that dies now, government will say is COVID-19 dead. Can you break this thing down?
Okay, so without the doubt, I think the valid point to that is that, I mean, if you look at the numbers of people who die by malaria annually in Nigeria, I think it's close to, or in Africa, I think it's close to 500,000. On an annual basis. But the reality of the reality of the threat that COVID-19 poses is that we were dealing with existing issues, right? Health issues, cancer, hepatitis, hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes. We're dealing with all of these issues and managing them are different. Now, COVID-19 has now ensured that, or the threat that it poses is that it has now fast-tracked the how fast those illnesses can kill. So if you have those illnesses that perhaps could have been manageable, or you were managing it for past 5-10 years of your life,
right,
and the truth of the matter is that you can still continue to manage it further. And if you pick up COVID-19, it's going to fast track your death, the how close you are to the grave.
Can you say that again?
Yes.
Can you repeat that again, please?
Okay. So the point I was trying to make is that now we're all perhaps dealing with different health issues. COVID-19, the greatest threat that COVID-19 poses to us now is that for everyone who is dealing with any existing illness, EB, diabetes, high blood pressure, hepatitis, all kinds of ailments that they may be. Now, if you pick up COVID-19, it increases your chances of those illnesses actually leading you to the grave. So it means that it's like an opportunist virus, So if you're already dealing with anything and you pick it up, it's likely going to be fatal for you. So the healthier you are, the better you are. So yes, a lot of people right now who have died due to COVID-19 related complications, meaning that it's possible with diabetes and they picked up COVID-19 and that was it. Now, and the ideal progression for your diabetes is that, you're probably going to live additional 40 years.
Yeah.
If you especially fix your diet, if you live right, if you exercise regularly, if you do all of these XYZ things. So if you have lung cancer, for example, you're probably doing chemo already, you're in the hospital and you pick up COVID-19, the chances that within 2-3 weeks you're going to end up in the grave is so high. So it has exacerbated existing health challenges across the world.
Right.
So that is why a lot of people right now are even preaching against, stay away from alcohol, keep your immune system up as a prevention, as a part of the prevention advice. Just avoid any opportunity environments whereby by the time you pick up COVID-19, it reduces your chances of fighting the virus. So that's the connection between COVID-19 and other things that have been killing us. So we need to jointly fight COVID-19 to take COVID-19 out of the way so people can continue to have fighting chance.
Right.
For whatever ailments they might have. So that's the connection there.
Yeah. Let's take another call. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. We lost that call. Nigeria Info, good morning. Good morning to you. Yes, you're on the radio.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be on this call with you today. I was pleased to what you guys are discussing. So I want to talk about COVID-19 so how do you expect people to believe that COVID-19 is really real when the government actually making a lot of money from this thing? Okay, that's one. Now people are registering for national ID card and all of that. Have you believed any of them that then you see a lot of persons, so many persons, and there are no arrangements from the local government for these people? The last caller talked about the role of the local government in managing the situation. But what are they doing? Just go to any of the centers, you see how much people are actually queuing up to do these things without protection. There's no arrangement for any of them.
Okay.
Besides that,
for some reason your line isn't too clear. I'm sorry. We'll have to discontinue with that. But I think I got the crux of what you're saying. Koyemi, he was simply just talking about, that's another general misinformation that is out there. That's about how government is using COVID-19 to make money. Get money from foreign donors and then siphon it. I don't know if you would like to address that.
Well, the truth of the matter is that, and I think we spoke to that briefly before now, to say that there existing distrust. There's a huge trust deficit between the governed and the governed, the people who are governing us. So that, and it's unfortunate right now that COVID-19 too has been thrown into that mix. So and how that conception or that belief, rightly so, I may say, has now affected people's notion. So there's that, we've put a class component to it now, that elites and bottom billion people to say, okay, it's an elite issue, they just want to use it to make money and it's not even getting to us. And I was locked down, and there is some sense in it. I was locked down for 4 weeks without any source of income. Hunger will kill me just as much as COVID-19 can kill me as well. So these people are just using this whole thing right now to make money. So this also actually just further speaks to the level of distrust that we have. But if you even take the government, let's even take the government to one side. The reality of it right now, I'm not a government official. Neither is a government official. And we both know people actually who have died of COVID-19. We know people right now who presently have COVID-19.
Yes, we do.
I have nothing to do with the government at the moment. And it's just important just to emphasize that at this moment right now, COVID-19 is real. Yes, government right now has its weaknesses and they will continue to have it. But at this moment right now, the fight is beyond them. It's not about us as well now. So it's more important for all of us right now, maybe to move a little. Yes, government has been bad. We would one day hope that, they change their ways. But at this moment right now, we have to take the bull by the horn and see how well we ourselves right now can arrest the situation to stem COVID. We'll face them. We'll come to them. That corruption and all of those practices in which they do will come to them. But at this moment, let's fight COVID together.
Right. Okay, we must go now, but I need to ask you again, if people need any assistance at all in getting information, the right information from MedAssist, how can they have access to this?
Thank you. So to talk to us, to reach out to a medical practitioner right now, you can reach out to us on 081 08081 640000. Let me say that again. 08081 640000. That's the line to reach us. You can also go to our website www.mmfng.org/medassist. Sorry about that. www.mmfng.org/medassist. ncaa.org/medassist to reach us. You can call our line. Let me say that again. It is 081-80-64-0000 to talk to a doctor in any of the languages that we offer, and we'll be able to provide with you all the required information that you need, including if you have to do a COVID test, how to get your immune system up, if you need to visit a primary health center close to you, if you need to get pharmacy referral, what you need to do and all you need to know, please reach out to us.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Kwame, thank you so much for joining us on the Crossfire today. We will do this again definitely because I need you back on the show. The advocacy for informing people is not a day's job.
Let me even say that we'll be taking up the conversation with you as well. We'll be looking forward to a partnership with Nigeria Info to get this message out there further.
Fantastic. We can't wait for that. Thank you, Okwayemi, again for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheriff. Thank you.
Lagos, there you go. Okwayemi Rino joins us via Skype this morning to discuss COVID-19. Quite an interesting conversation. We will have him again. We need to have him again. Okwayemi, by the way, is a coordinator of Med Assist. They work in partnership with Murtala Mohammed Foundation. What they do is share information real time on COVID and how people can live without COVID, how people can protect themselves. That's basically what they do. Thank you all for being a part of it. Now, let's see if we can give somebody 10,000 naira. Shall we do that? It's called Just a Minute. Congratulations to our winners in the first week last week. This week again, people have been winning 10,000 naira daily on Just a Minute. So it's time for us to see if we can give somebody that 10,000 naira for today. Remember that Just a Minute comes on all our shows. My show, the next show after Jimmy Sue, and like that, your Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekwesili at 3. Then we announce a winner at the end of Hard Facts. Yep. So the lucky person is a person that got the highest correct answers. It's just a game. In 60 seconds, you answer some really soft questions, as many as you can. The number is 0700 993 993 993. Let's play.
This is Just a Minute. Just a Minute on 99.3 Nigeria FM.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
What's your name?
My name is Nathaniel.
What? Who?
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel what exactly?
Nathaniel
Ikpe. Okay, Nathaniel. You want to play Just a Minute?
Exactly.
All right, let's play Nathaniel. Here we go.
This is Just a Minute.
Nathaniel, give me the name of my guest this morning.
Oh, I miss Mr. Okwayemi. Where is Okwayemi?
I can't give you because it's something that we just did. Can we move on to the next question? Are you ready?
Okay, yes.
All right. Tell me about the topic we treated this morning, just now.
We discussed about why people don't believe that COVID-19 is real. It's still.
Well, I'm going to give that to you, but the topic really is COVID-19 and the challenge of misinformation. I mentioned that as well. Now, let's move on to your next question because time is running out. Who anchors a program on Nigeria Info, and what is the name of the program on Saturday morning, 7 a.m.?
The Morning Crossfire.
On Saturday morning?
Oh, okay, Saturday morning. No. I can't remember. Honestly.
Nathaniel, so what you're going to do is, because your time is up, all right, you got one question correctly. You never can tell. That one question can give you 10,000 naira. Depends on whether the next guys on the other shows get anything, all right? So stay on the line. We'll get your details right now. A lady would pick up the call now. Aha, there you go. He's gone. Lagos, thank you for being a part of the show today. Tomorrow, Dr. Abayomi will be joining me on the Morning Crossfire, and we'll be talking about how COVID can affect fertility. Have you ever thought of that? I just found out in my research, and yeah, we have to do it. We must do it. I mean, you need to know how COVID can affect fertility. That's a conversation we're having tomorrow at 8. And on Friday, we'll be talking about an advocacy for glaucoma, how you can prevent yourself from going from losing your sight. We're having a young lady in the studio that she's an advocate against glaucoma. She will be joining us on the show, and we'll have a very thorough conversation as to how you can hold on to your sight and without losing it, especially if you have been diagnosed with glaucoma or cataract. We'll have that conversation on Friday at 8 o'clock. In the meantime, COVID is very, very real. Absolutely real. Protect yourself at all times. Even if you don't believe it, just protect yourself first. It's better to do that than to put other people at risk. Don't look at others. Focus on yourself and what you can do to protect people around you. I'm Sheriff Quadry. I'm on social media at Sheriff Quadry on Twitter, at Sheriff Quadry on Instagram, at Sheriff Quadry on LinkedIn. Come on, chat me up. I'm here. Let's talk. Good morning to you.
One station gives you great talk every day.
On the show yesterday, you spoke about the tariff hike, electricity tariff.
And Just Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.